Hi and welcome to practice. My name's Jessica and I will be leading you through a core-based, mat-based yoga flow that is perfect for all levels. Since we're going to be working on the core, we're really going to be targeting our solar plexus chakra, which is really associated with feelings of confidence, commitment. So if you're feeling like you've been having maybe a lack of motivation around a certain area in life, be it your career, your business, home life, then this will be the perfect practice for you. So my hope is that you will leave the mat today feeling a greater sense of commitment and tapping into your own strength and power to be able to meet the needs of the things that are waiting for you off of the mat today. I invite you to listen to your body today and only take the options that are meeting you where you're at today. So without further ado, let's begin our practice. I'm sitting on a block. You can feel free to do the same. It will just raise the hips a little bit to help to lengthen the spine. Take an easy seated position. You can be in Sukhasana like I am. You can take any comfortable position of choice. And once you've settled in, go ahead and blink the eyes to close if it's accessible to you. And bring an awareness to the breath. You might even place the hands gently over the belly as you feel the rise and fall of your core as you're breathing. And take stock of your breath here. What's it telling you? Maybe your breath feels fast, and some longer exhales will serve you well in this moment. Help bring a sense of grounding. If you feel like your breathing is a bit slow, maybe you're feeling a bit tired, then some extra energy might be what it is that you need today. You might bring in an extra longer inhale than your exhale. So with this same sense of awareness that we are taking for the breath today, I invite you to do the same for your practice. And while this is a core-based flow where we will be building some heat in the body, it is all about balance. And so you might be on the mat today craving some energy to tap into your strength and your inner power. Perhaps you might be here because you are feeling too much of that power. Maybe that fire within is burning out of control like a wildfire and it needs some taming. So take what serves you today, leave what doesn't. I'll invite you now to set an intention for your practice, perhaps around the theme of commitment, since we will be working with the seat of our strength and power. Are there areas within your life that are in need of greater commitment? Or likewise, are there areas of your life that are maybe requiring too much commitment from you right now that you may need to, quite frankly, say no to? So with that in mind, set an intention. Once you have that intention, let's take one last breath. Inhale deeply here. And exhale. Slowly blink the eyes to open. Let's begin our movement. We're going to start with some simple spine stretches to warm up the spine. When we are working our core, a lot of our movement is originating from the spine. So let's gently warm it up. So on your next exhale, begin to slowly round the spine, bringing navel to your spine, coming into cat and seated cat. On the inhale, rock the pelvis forward so that your heart and chest shine forwards. And continue with that movement, linking the breath, of course. Exhale to cat to round the spine. Inhale to the spine forward. I'm just taking this at your own pace. right here. And we'll exhale to a neutral position in the center. On the next inhale, bring the arms up and overhead. Exhale to drop one arm to the side, and inhale the opposite arm up and overhead, reaching to the other side of the room. Ensuring that we're grounding through that same hip as our overstretched arm, or as our arm that's overstretched. Melting the shoulder away from the ear. And on your next inhale, bring both hands up overhead. Exhale to bring the opposite arm down and the other arm over to the opposite side, grounding down through that same hip. And just breathing here. As you reach over, consider what you might be reaching for today to help with your commitment. What may help you to tap into that power within? And inhale both arms up and overhead. Exhale to bring them down. Let's inhale overhead, both arms overhead once again. This time we are going to take a twist, bringing the left hand to right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to gaze over the right shoulder. Each time we inhale, we lengthen the spine. Each time we exhale, we twist just a bit deeper. On your next inhale, bring both arms up and overhead, and we'll take that to the opposite side. Right hand, left knee. Inhale to extend the spine, and exhale to look over the left shoulder. And just breathing here. Just wringing out the spine, maybe clearing out any physical toxins and even toxic thoughts that might be getting in the way of your success. And then on your next inhale, we'll come back to center. All right, if you're seated on a block, you can go ahead and just put that to the side. We won't be needing that. Coming into a tabletop position, let's check our alignment first, ensuring that the wrists are below the shoulders and are shoulder width apart, and the knees are directly below the hips distance apart. On the next exhale, coming into a cat, rounding the spine into flexion. And on the inhale, shining the heart forward as we come into our cow pose, extension of the spine. Continuing with this movement, you might be okay here. If you'd like to intensify this movement, you can feel free to raise the knees about an inch or two up off of the ground as you come into your cat pose. And then just move at your own pace. Inhaling to extend and exhaling to come into flexion. Let's take one more cycle here. And inhale to come to neutral. We're going to take a thread the needle now. So ground down into your left palm, deeply into the mat. Push the mat away as you start to float that right arm up and overhead. Threading that arm behind the left hand, bringing the knee, the right ear close to the mat. Pushing away from the mat once again, bringing that right arm overhead and threading it once again. Flowing here one more time. We're going to hold it at the bottom. Of course, you can feel free to continue to flow if that's what your practice calls for today. If you are holding the pose here, you can feel free to keep that left palm grounded to the side of your face, or feel free to walk the hands out. Maybe you take that left palm to the small of your back into a gentle bind. Feeling a nice stretch through the thoracic spine as we twist here. And just breathing through any sensations that might be arising. If you are in a bind, on your next inhale, start to release that hand to the side of your face. Push the floor away, bringing that right hand back up overhead to counter stretch and bringing it back down to the mat. We'll go ahead and take that to the other side, and I will just turn around here so that you can see me. Again, checking that our alignment is good, wrists are below the shoulders, knees are beneath the hips, grounding down through both palms, pressing through the right and starting to become light on the left hand as you draw it upwards towards the sky. Thread that hand behind the left arm, bringing the left ear towards the mat. Inhaling to rise the left hand up back again. Exhale to bring it down towards the mat. Flowing one more time here. Continuing to flow if that's what feels good for you, or you can join me here as we hold the pose on the mat. Again, you can take that right hand out in front, or you can bring it into a bind. This might be pretty intense, so again, just breathe through anything that might be arising. Any uncomfortable feelings or thoughts, just allow them to simply melt from the head and into the mat in this moment. If you're in a bind, go ahead and release, bringing that palm to the side of your face, pushing the floor away, counter stretching that left hand back up towards the sky and bringing it back down to the mat. We're going to go ahead now and come down to the mat, belly side down, setting up for our Cobra series. So allow the gaze to point downwards at your mat. Bring the palms directly below the shoulders. Your elbows are pointing upwards towards the sky. If you're ready, start to lift the chest up off of the mat. You might even play with lifting the palms up off the mat, feeling the strength of the backside of your core. Breathing here. On your next exhale, release one ear down to the mat. You can take the hands and arms to the side of the body and just allow the shoulders to melt down into the earth. Our core is comprised of not just the front, but also the back of the core and the sides of the body, the side waist. So we are going to be working all four sides of the core in today's practice. When you are ready, begin to turn the gaze back down towards the mat, both palms below the shoulders, and start to push away from the mat. You can stay here, you can lift the palms, or you might even bring the arms to the sides of the body as I am doing. You might even interlace the hands behind you and slowly push the palms of the hands together, which will start to lift you a little bit higher up off of the mat. So you're feeling a little bit of a deeper sensation through the posterior core. And on your next inhale, go ahead and release. Bring the opposite ear to the mat. Arms alongside the body. Allow the shoulders to melt down to the earth. And as you are ready, begin to bring the gaze back down towards the mat, palms beneath the shoulders, and push the mat away. We'll come into a child's pose for a brief moment here, just to counter stretch and bring a little bit of rest to the body. And again, simply bring an awareness to your breath like we did in the beginning of our practice. Just kind of check in with your body, see what your body's feeling right now. Is your body feeling like hey, I do want to amp up the intensity. Maybe I do want to stoke the fire. Or maybe your body is feeling like, you know what, let's cool the fire. There's a little bit too much of it. In that case, maybe you consider staying with some of the modifications. This is your practice, so you are welcome to take it to wherever it is that is going to serve you best. If you're ready, go ahead and start to lift back up to a tabletop position. And we're going to go ahead and face the long edge of our mat here and coming up on the knees. And we're going to go into our gate series. So take one of your feet and extend it to the side. I'm going to start with my left foot, but of course you can do whatever feels most comfortable for you. We will do both sides. But to check your alignment, you want to make sure that the arch of your foot is in line with the knee that is beneath you. So if you're good with there, then let's go ahead and inhale the arms to the sides. On the exhale, start to bend towards that extended leg. And feel a nice lateral side bend, feeling the sensation through the right side of the body. And just bring an awareness to your chest and your right shoulder here, ensuring that it's nice and open, and melting that opposite shoulder away from the ear. You might keep a little bit of a micro bend in that extended leg as well, just to protect the knee. And at all times, keeping the core nice and engaged to protect the lower back. On your inhale, come up to center, and then we're going to take that to the other side. So bringing that right palm to the mat this time, allowing the left arm to drift overhead, reaching towards the right side of the room, melting the right shoulder away from the right ear, same thing on the left side, and making sure that we're not collapsing in our chest or shoulder on that left side, keeping our chest nice and broad and open here. Your gaze can point down or simply to the side of the room. And just breathe here, feeling the stretch now through the left side of the body, even through the hip flexor there. On your next inhale, using your core to bring you up back to center, we're going to continue with that in a flow. So reaching over to the left towards that extended foot, inhaling to come back up to center, and then with control, using your core to come over to the opposite side, reaching to the side of the room. Inhale to come to center, exhaling to come over towards the extended leg. Inhale to center, exhale to the side. Do one more round at your own pace, feeling the stretch through both sides, left and right sides of the core. And exhale to bring the hands down to your sides. Bringing the hands down to the floor, go ahead and bring that extended leg in, and then just switch the opposite foot to extend out. You can walk the hands up. Again, checking our alignment to ensure that the arch of our extended foot is in line with the knee of the leg that's beneath us. Inhale both arms to the side. Exhale as you bend towards that extended foot. Again, making sure that we are keeping a micro bend in the knee. Chest and left shoulder are nice and open. Shoulders are melting away from the ears. Nice stretch through the left side of the body. Using the core, coming back to center, exhaling to bring that left palm to the mat, and reaching over to the left side of the room. Breathing here. Inhaling to come back up to center with control, and let's go ahead and flow with that. Exhaling as you bend to the side, inhaling to come to center. Tapping into our strength and the power of our core. Here on the mat, but also off of the mat. As you reach over, consider what it is that you may need to reach for that will help you to tap into your inner strength and power through your commitments for the day. On your next inhale, we'll meet in center, and exhale to float the hands down. Bringing the hands down, you can bring that extended knee into the body. Go ahead and take a seat here. We're going to move into our boat pose, Navasana series. Planting both feet on the ground, about hips distance apart, and you can just kind of check to look down and see that your heels are in line with your hips there. Take the hands behind the bend of the knee and start to straighten the elbows, making sure that our chest stays nice and broad. This might be where you hang out today. If you want to take it a step further, you can release the hands, maybe play with lifting one foot, the other, maybe both. You might even extend one or both of the feet. And just breathe here. Another posture that can be quite intense, especially in our core practice. Just breathe through the sensations. And just know that whenever you are feeling that fire, when you're feeling that fire needs to be tamed, you can always come back to the breath to help bring that sense of cooling and balance. On your next exhale, lower the feet to the mat and go ahead and rest the forearms on top of the knees, forehead on top of the forearms. And just take a few breaths here. You might even rock the head from side to side to give the forehead a little bit of a massage there. We're going to try that once more. So when you're ready, join me by lifting the head, coming back into your boat pose, taking whatever option serves you best today. Let's bring the toe mounds together and the palms to touch. This time we are going to twist to either side. Inhaling as you come to one side, exhaling as you go to the other. And just take this movement at your own pace. You decide where it is that you want to go today. Maybe you speed it up, like so. Or maybe you take it a little bit slower, like I am demonstrating. I'm going to keep it at about this pace, but you decide what works best. Making sure that we're breathing here again, tapping into the breath whenever we feel like that fire is burning and needs some cooling. One more on each side. And go ahead and bring the feet back down and then rest the forehead on the knees once again. All right. We're going to start to cool things down, and so we're going to take it down to the mat now. If you're ready, go ahead and raise the head And just bring the grasp behind the legs and use the legs to gently walk yourself back down. And then once you've reached the sacrum, you can start to roll down one vertebra at a time until your head is all the way down on the mat. We're going to take a few stretches to help cool us down before we find our final resting pose. So bring the knees to bend, and then go ahead and start to drop them to one side, any side of your choice. And we are going to be coming into a twist, so just ensure that the hips are stacked and in a neutral position facing the side of the room. You might extend the bottom arm and then start to fan out the top arm to the opposite side. No worries if your shoulder is not touching the mat. Mine certainly isn't. And just breathe here. You can point the gaze upwards, or you can face the extended arm. And just like the first twists, just feeling a little bit more of a release with each exhale. And when you're ready, inhale the knees up to center. Neutralize the hips, and then just take that to the other side, ensuring that the knees and the hips are stacked. Extending the bottom arm and then fanning that top arm to the opposite side, allowing the shoulder to melt towards the mat. And just breathe here. During today's practice, some stuff might have come up. Maybe some realizations of things that are no longer serving you. So again, just allow those things to melt away. You can leave them on the mat. They do not need to go with you into the rest of your day. And on the next inhale, bringing the knees back to center, a neutral spine. Extending both legs, we're going to take one more stretch here. So we'll take the left foot to about the corner of the mat, and then take that right ankle and place it over the left ankle. Flexing the left foot, pointing the right foot. That should allow for a nice stretch through the right hip flexor. Extending both arms overhead, allow the left fingertips to grasp the right wrist and gently bend towards the left. So making almost kind of a crescent shape with the body will give you a nice stretch through the entire side of the body. From the bottom of your shoulders all the way down to your shins, really. Go ahead and release. We'll take that to the opposite side. So right foot, right corner of the mat. Left ankle rests on top of the right ankle, flexing the right foot, pointing the left foot. Should already feel a nice stretch through the left hip flexor this time. Both arms overhead, and allow the right fingertips to grasp the left wrist and gently lean or bend to the right side this time. Again, making that banana shape with your body. And go ahead and release. Setting up for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Go ahead and find your resting spot here. Bringing the feet to the outer edges of your mat. The elbows can find the outer edge of the mat as well, and you can allow the palms to splay open from there. And just start to release anything that you might be holding on to physically in your body, mentally, emotionally, and anything that might be maybe even tugging on your heart space. Just let it go right now. Let go of all control. Find your natural breath and simply rest here. This is your time to really enjoy the effects of your practice. So begin to release any tension at the top of the head. Allow that relaxation to release any wrinkles from the forehead, from the brows. Allow the eyes to just fall heavy in their sockets. Allow the cheekbones to hollow, the jaw to unclench. Allowing your neck to become soft, your shoulders and chest just fall open. Soften the belly. Allow the hips to be nice and relaxed. Allow that relaxation to travel down to your knees, your shins, your ankles, all the way out through your toes. And just rest here. I'll let you know when it's time to come back. You can feel free to continue to rest here. If you're ready to return back to the room, then you can start to bring some small movements into the body. Maybe wiggling the fingers, the toes, rolling out the ankles, the wrists, rocking the head from side to side, feeling a nice massage on the back of your skull. You might raise your arms overhead and then take a nice stretch from fingertips to toes, like you're waking up first thing in the morning. And start to find a fetal position on either side. Take a moment here. And then when you're ready, start to push the earth away from you and come into an easy seated position. Bringing the hands to heart center, thanking yourself for showing up and committing to your practice and to your well-being today. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me on the mat today. I really do hope that you enjoyed today's practice and that It allows you to leave your mat feeling a greater sense of commitment and strength as you embark on the rest of your day. Thank you once again. And if you like this video, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any questions as well. I love to hear from you. Save it if you'd like to return to it later. And if you are enjoying movement through the chakras, definitely subscribe so that you don't miss any upcoming content. Doing so, just bringing an awareness to the chakras and how it impacts our not only our body but our day-to-day life can really be instrumental to our success, both on the mat and off the mat. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you again soon.